the extraordinary Dr. Maya Angelou.
Thank you. Oh, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, she does not know her beauty. She thinks her brown body has no glory. If she could dance naked under palm trees and see her image in the river, she would know. But there are no palm trees on the street, and dishwater gives back no images. Still, when the saints go marching in, Lord, I know you'll be in that number. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Congratulations, saints. Congratulations. Congratulations. I'm honored to be here, to be asked by SCAD, to be invited by your president, to be welcomed by your faculty and your board of trustees, and certainly by you graduates, and insisted by Dr. Bernie Casey. I am pleased really to be here because I know something about you that you may not know yet. Every person in this auditorium, in this building, has already been paid for. Whether the ancestors came from Eastern Europe, trying to escape the pogroms, the little and large murders, arriving at Ellis Island, having their names changed to something utterly unpronounceable, or if the ancestors came from Ireland or Germany in the 1840s and 50s, when the potato blight assailed both those areas, or if the ancestors came from Scandinavia, or Malta, or Italy, or South America, or Mexico, trying to find a place that would hold all the people, all the faces, all the Adams and Eves and their countless generations. Or indeed, if the ancestors came from Asia in the 1850s to build this country, to build the railroads, unable legally to bring their mates for 8 decades. Or if the ancestors came from Africa, unwillingly, bound and tied, lying spoon fashion, that is back to belly, in the filthy hatches of slave ships, and in their own and in each other's excrement and urine. They have paid for each of us already. It is important, if not indeed imperative, that each of us remembers and realizes and remembers this, so that we will know we have been paid for, that indeed there have been saints who have marched in for us without any possibility of knowing our names, what names we would have, what mad personalities we would foist upon the world, indeed what our faces would look like. They have paid for us already. It is imperative, really, that you understand. I'm speaking particularly to the graduates, directly to each of you privately, personally. You have been paid for. Someone has marched in for you, whether that's someone hung on the side of the Appalachian Mountains in a rickety, rackety hut, or stood on an auction block, or sat down in sweatshops, already paid for. So then it seems very clear that all you really have to do is recognize then your one gift, which is a combination of many gifts, and see yourselves as saints to those who are yet to come. That's really who you are. So I want to just tell a quick story. I agree definitely with Ms. Orndorff that everybody wants a brief greeting, so I will be brief, but I want to be deep. So I'll tell you this story and be off. I was raised by a grandmother and an uncle in a little village in Arkansas called Stamps, about the size of the stage up here. I was sent to them from California when I was 3 years old and stayed there with them until I was 13. My grandmother owned the only black-owned store in the town, and she needed me to learn to read and write and help her in the store. So she taught me immediately to read and write. But then my uncle, who was crippled, his whole right side was paralyzed. The left side was huge. He taught me to do my multiplication tables. And he was so frightening to me as a small person because of his ailment. And so he would say, "Sister, I want you to do your fourses. Sister, do your eightses. Sister, do your tenses." He used to grab me like this and hold me in front of a pot-bellied stove. I was so sure that if I didn't learn, he would manage somehow to open that stove, throw me in it, and close the stove. Of course, I found he was so tender-hearted, he wouldn't allow a moth or a spider to be killed in the store. But I learned. Years later, my uncle died, and I went down to Arkansas to see about affairs. I stopped in Little Rock, and one of America's living legends, Miss Daisy Bates, met me at the airport. She said, "Girl," I don't have to tell you she's black, right? She said, "Girl, look, I know you're going to stay overnight in Little Rock. There's somebody dying to meet you. Let me bring him to your hotel." So I said, "Of course." She brought about 15 people, but she brought this black man who was okay, really. So I said, "How do you do?" He said, "I don't want to shake your hand. I want to hug you." I said, "I sure appreciate it." So he gave me a big hug. He said, "You're down here because Willie has died." My Uncle Willie was so ashamed of his affliction, he wouldn't even go to Louisville, Arkansas, which was 5 miles away and the county seat. And this elegant man in a three-piece suit way up north said, "You're down here because Willie has died. The state of Arkansas has lost a great man, losing Willie." I said, "Uncle Willie?" He said, "The United States has lost a great man, losing Willie." I asked him, "W.M. Johnson?" He said, "The world." I said, "Let me sit down." He said, "In the 20s, I was the only child of a blind mother. Your Uncle Willie gave me a job in your store, taught me to read and write, made me love to learn. Because of him, I'm who I am today." He said, "He taught me my times tables." I asked him, "How did he do it?" He said, "He used to grab me like this." He said, "I guess you want to know who I am today." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "I'm mayor of Little Rock, Arkansas, first black man in the South." I couldn't believe it. He said, "I've got a police escort for you downstairs. And when you get to Louisville, go in and see this man. He's a good old boy. He's a lawyer. He'll look after your property." I expected an older black man with dignity. I got to the office in Louisville, and this young white man ran out. He said, "Dr. Angelou, I'm just delighted to see you." He said, "The mayor called me this morning, told me you were down here, and you're coming down here. I want to look after you. You can trust me." He said he caught hold to me when I was 11 years old. He made me love to learn. I'm now in the state legislature. Graduates, I look back on Willie, black, male, crippled, during the lynching years, and I realized when the saints go marching in, he was one. I have no idea the range of his influence, where he has impacted one person, and through that one, thousands, and through those thousands, millions. It is upon you to see yourselves as saints with a wonderful calling, a delicious future, incredible mission. It will be difficult, but it is important to see where you've come from. People live in direct relation to the heroes and sheroes they have, always and in all ways. So when you see where you've come from, you can see where you stand today and envision your future. I was so impressed by this incident that I went home and wrote a song which Miss Roberta Flack sings. It was for Uncle Willie. It's for all the Uncle Willies who preceded him. Black, brown, beige, red, yellow, pink, white, all. And for you graduates, this song. Willie was a man without fame. Hardly anybody knew his name. Crippled and limping and always walking lame. He said, I keep on moving, I'm moving just the same. Solitude was the climate in his head. Emptiness was the partner in his bed. Pain echoed in the steps of his tread. He said, but I keep on following where the others led. I will cry and I will die, but my spirit is the soul of every spring. Look for me and you will see that I'm present in the songs that children sing. People called him uncle, boy, and hey. Said, you can't live through this another day. And then they waited to hear what he would say. He said, I'm living in the games that children play. You may enter my sleep and people my dreams and threaten my early morning's ease, but I keep coming. I'm following. I'm laughing. I'm crying. I'm certain as a summer breeze. Look for me. Ask for me. My spirit is the surge of open seas. Call for me. Wait for me. I'm the rustle in the autumn leaves. When the sun rises, I am the time. When the children live and learn and laugh and love, I am the rhyme. Just ask for me, and you can call me Cripple Willie. When the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, I know you will be in that number. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Congratulations.